Okay, we are live. Round two of right. Talking and right posted. And yeah, so if anyone saw this video last time, this model was a much worse state, but I kind of want to just like clean things up a little bit. But I'll pop open the buzz. Yeah, that's a bit of a disaster. But I just kind of wanted to sit crack down off stream. I mean, it didn't take that long to here to here. It was just kind of like working details and the proportions a bit. I changed his posture a little, just so that it kind of matches the design a bit better. For instance, I pulled his pelvis forward and spread his legs out a little bit so that he kind of like feels not so wonky, odd. Also kind of just bulked up all the limbs and stuff because he seems very bulky, especially shoulders. And so I'm gonna have to get the gear in there, like start getting in some clothing in order to really get the feel right. I don't think I've hit the mark quite yet. I'm getting closer, but yeah, once I start getting in all the and equipment, I'm just gonna do like rough stuff, just like a rough sculpt, and then see what needs to move around and what doesn't. And then once I have everything in good silhouette, I can go in and start making details. And yeah, that's the game plan. So let's get to it, I guess. I'm also gonna pop open some music. I'm not talking all the time. Hopefully, music actually plays this time. Last time it didn't, because I realized that my mic wasn't hooked up to OBS, or not mic. My speakers weren't connected to OBS. For some reason, that wasn't the default. Okay, had to get smudge guard. Those who do not know what that is, it's just a glove for using your tablet. I had left it off in bag somewhere. Okay. Sign up. That off to my second monitor. Okay. Okay. Now we can actually do something. Also gonna clear out all this extra crap that I have in here. Just have a bunch of old versions of this. Don't need all that nonsense. Bottom. So what I'm gonna start with is probably the tunic. That's really a big silhouette piece. Again, this is gonna be super rough, intentionally. I don't want to spend a bunch of time just to realize all the proportions are wrong. But this is probably the funnest part. It's almost like design. Music might be a bit loud, I think. Turn that down. Good. I was hoping I could keep my groups here, but I could isolate stuff, but at the very least, yep. All right. See, clothing already helped. I noticed that he's much smaller than I had. All right. Bit of progress here. There are definitely times when you just spend a few minutes just flipping around the model just to make sure it feels right. I mean, I can take my time with this. I'm not pressured to go super fast or anything like that. I want to make sure that I do it right. Now, if you're working for someone, obviously, you'll want to be a little bit more efficient, but that's okay. This design is definitely a lot of fun. Quite fond of it. Let's get that hat in there. Make this iconic. Hide all that crappy hair that I have. I might just sculpt out that hair anyway at some point, just for kicks. But we'll see. What's the best thing to start from? I don't think an extract would be good this time around. I could do a curve tube. Oh, that's the other thing too is what do I want the like the basic pose to be? Let's look at the concept here. Got like this really nice interesting shape here, which I will want to maintain, but I don't want to like model it sticking out like that. Well, I might just have it droop down a little bit more. But yeah, feels a little less floaty. Let's go with that. So I'm gonna do that, but first of all, I need to actually get a piece of geo in there to work from. So let's just append a sphere or something. This. Let's do that. Append this like that, and then we're gonna go to thing. Insert curved tube. Boop. That is a little too much. He's on. Yeah, okay. Now he has a ponytail. Alright. That should be okay. Oh, it's doubling up. Hate when it does that. Okay, well I'm gonna just delete one. Go. Now we're gonna store morph target. Go nuts. That hat isn't so thin. Get that shape in there. Remesh it. This hat is always hard to get right. Just if you don't do it right, it just looks super awkward. Get rid of this. Eventually, I'll probably break this trim off in the hat into a separate piece, but just to rough things in, I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Right now, my main concern is just getting things in the right place at the right size. No, this face doesn't feel quite right yet. One other thing I like to avoid is having things going straight into other things. So like the hair here, having that just dig straight into the face looks a little odd, but if I were to pull it out a little bit and then have a little bit of a lip going down before it goes into the face, makes it feel a lot better. In my opinion, at least. But it's like little things like that that make a huge difference. Really emphasize that, like freaking crease. Old. Really tired. Making his face a little more masculine. Lengthen it out a bit, strengthening that jaw and chin. I feel like I was it's still not quite feeling like the concept yet, but see where I get. I still have to go into the process of retopologizing the body once I get things roughed in, because all these fingers are all one piece right now. Which looks a little bit bad. That's okay. One step at a time. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, his eyes are a little bit too big there. Takes a little bit of back and forth. It's difficult with a stylized character just because you know that they're not supposed to be proportionate to the head. And oftentimes, a stylized eye is actually a lot flatter than a real eye. But I try to keep a nice circle in there, even if it's a stylized character. I don't like having flat eyes so much. Doesn't It just makes the face feel flat, obviously, because it is flat. But you know, you have to do what works best for the character, and I think this one can go all right with the round eyes. But we'll see. We'll see if I have to flatten that out a bit or not down the line. I bet if I take everything off, it's gonna look really weird because I warped the face. Yeah. There we go. That's okay. Easy, easy to clean. One thing to keep in mind too is although the hair is covering that, I still want to make it look alright. Because if it were to animate and the hair were to move, you'd see it. So I'm just accounting for stuff like that as well. This isn't just gonna be like a static model that just stands around. Well, it might be it's just a portfolio piece, but I like to account for the fact that I like to make things as if they were going to be moving around. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, back to the body or clothing. What to block in next? Maybe boots might be a good idea. Yeah, I think there's too much bulk to his legs right now. Said boots, but hello, Isuther. How are you? Wait, did you hear me? I had my mic off. Okay, good. Cool. Um, Retopo, eh? What are you retopping? Pretty cool. That's pretty fun. Seems like a lot of work to retop. Just are you going for more low poly, high poly? Are you trying to gonna get in all these like little wrinkles and stuff, or looking cool regardless? Oh yeah, so you're new to ZBrush? Pretty fun tool. But yeah, yeah, you just if you want to get into 3D, it's just a matter of well doing it. So just make tons and tons of art. Eventually you'll get to where you want. Oh, IT? Whereabouts? Fun fact, I actually went to school for IT, but I didn't end up pursuing that at all. Estonia? Oh, okay, so that's the area. Like study 3D, you mean? If you study that much every day, then you're set. Just keep going. Yeah, you definitely don't need to go to a school for 3D. You don't need to spend all your money for that. That's ridiculous. I didn't really do any 3D at school. I mean, I took a class, but I didn't like I took a class, but I already knew all this stuff before I went in. It was just part of the curriculum. Because the IT program I went into was specifically targeted towards games and animation, so IT for that. Um, so they kind of teach you all the skills very broadly. But I was already into 3D at the time, so I had already learned all that stuff. So you can really just teach yourself. You don't need to go to school in order to learn all that stuff. There's so much information online. And don't worry about being 34. That's fine. Oh yeah, Blizzard. Blizzard is definitely my choice destination. Yeah, if you want to work for Blizzard or Weta, you just gotta like make stuff that you think they could use. That orc is probably a good choice for Weta. um, yeah, just like look at their work and just try to hit that mark. Retopo and texturing. Yeah. Trying to think of any good resources for that stuff. I mean, there's Retopo. I tend to just like sometimes you can find models uploaded online from games, and I try to just look at that and see what their topology looks like and kind of figure out why they would have done that. It's kind of beneficial to see what it actually looks like in their games or films or that. Sometimes you can just like find images of wireframes and stuff too. As for texturing, I don't know any specific resources to be honest. That's just a matter of practice, I guess. Um, there's you'll probably want to start using Substance Painter if you haven't already. That'll provide you with just like a I guess you don't really need to use it. It's just it provides you with all these sources, and it makes you able to do faster. But you don't necessarily have to do that. Um, yeah, it's just yeah, similar to the wireframes and stuff. I would actually look at some of the models and see what they do for textures. See, like what kind of details they have in there. So break it down and you say like, okay, what do they have on the surface? Um, you have to break it down to what needs, like just color pass, the reflectivity, um, roughness, etc. But yeah, it's just it's really an analysis thing to look at it, figure out what's there. You have Mari? Yeah, I hear Mari's a good thing to use too. I have personally not really used Mario. Just I haven't needed to, but I guess I could at some point. I don't know. I already know so many tools and I have everything that I need. But Mari does have similar tools to Substance, so you're good on that part. I think the idea is just to get as much content out as fast as you can, at least to start. Tons of mileage, right? The first thing I did was just create shit ton of models, and a lot of them were pretty bad. But you just gotta keep building up until you get what you want. And eventually, which is where I'm at now, I kind of want to slow down a bit because I have already a huge library of stuff, but now I want to make sure it's all quality work. So I spend several months on each character. Before I would spend maybe like a week, not a week, but a couple weeks or most a month on a character. Now I could be working on a character for like 2 3 months, not be satisfied, but uh, my point is like it gets to a point where it's like at first it's quantity over quality and then it becomes quality over quantity. Yeah. At least in my perspective. It's all complete um personal opinion, but my opinion. Oh, you use 3D Coat? Yeah, 3D Coat. I love 3D Coat. It's great for retop. I kind of want to try out other tools that it has in there, but right now I purely use it for retopology. I kind of have a tool for every single stage. Cost wise, maybe not the best idea, but eh, it gets the job done. 2 months on the orc isn't too bad. I mean, it all depends on how much time you have too, because I put a lot of time during the week. It's not like I spend an hour a day or something. Yeah, I tried Topo Gun too, and it just wasn't working for me either. I think the thing is though, I feel I have a bit of a bias because I started with 3D Coat and used Topo Gun afterwards. So that could be why I don't like Topo Gun as much because I know tons of people love it, and like there has to be a good reason for that. I should really save. I've just been working off of autosave since I started. Not a good idea. What I will also do is I'll load my previous tool so I can compare changes. Okay, so this is where I was. This is where I am. Feel like I want the eyes to be a little bit thinner. Whoa, jeez. Really dislike when my pressure sensitivity just decides to stop working. Again, 5 hours per day, that's solid. Shows dedication, and keep that up, you'll definitely get where you want to be. It takes time. I mean, if I still had some of my older models, I'd show you, but they were horrid. They were just so bad. Well, good on you for that. That's a really intense schedule. Yeah. I mean, I'm doing similar. Like I will take breaks though now that I have a little bit more content under my belt, but up until recently I was doing stuff like that, work your full day, then you work 5 hours a night and just spend like an hour to eat or something. Then but weekends and stuff I kind of want to chill out a bit, play some games. Cuz there comes a point when you can't output anymore. You kind of just need to sit back. Yeah, I don't know. If you burn out, then your quality kind of drops. But definitely at the beginning, it's good to put in as much time as you possibly can. Well, I wouldn't go based off of how much time they say on that chart, cuz or on their job descriptions, because it's just a ballpark. I think it's more the quality of the work that you hand in, not so much how much time you spent. So if you can spend less time and get really good results, you'll be just as well off. Well, if you don't feel you're that good, just give it time, right? Which you're definitely already doing. So yeah, you'll get there. You'll get where you need to be if you keep it up. Just don't give up. Thinking this is a little bit better than it was. Getting somewhere, getting somewhere. Yeah, no, definitely you can always improve. Everyone can always improve. You can't improve anymore, then there's really no point. But yeah, no, there's always ways to get better, especially with the changing technologies and whatnot. This provides you with way more like capabilities, less restrictions. Oh, thank you for following. Weird though, it should pop up saying having the message, shouldn't it? Oh, there it goes. Gothic something. Gothic Veneta. Thank you for following. You know, another thing that you could try is just like finding some designs done by people at Blizzard and try to make them. Like just like find their concept art. Although I try to avoid things that are already made in 3D, so maybe you could look at things like Hearthstone or look at some of the cards or the drawings and just do some of those. Because if you want to work somewhere, you have to show that you want it. So if you do some of their designs and you do kind of like fan work, it shows that you like their studio, like what they do. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, the orc was a good choice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen this orc. Yeah, you're pretty close. I mean, the one thing that the concept of like the concept compared to your model is um it's just like the sharpness of things, right? There's very distinct lines and plane breaks. It's kind of hard to explain, I guess, but another thing I'm noticing is the head on your character is a lot wider. The ears are smaller or like flatter. Anyway, I got to keep doing what I'm doing too. Oh gosh, his freaking face is getting flat again. They always do this. Gotta be careful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is a lot of detail in that nose ring. But cool. Yeah, the thing about having a clean model, one, the resolution on the screen isn't that great, so it makes my model look cleaner than it actually is. And two, is you just gotta work at a low subdivision level and then work your way up, and not put too much detail in too early, which is really hard to judge, but that's just the only way that I know, at least. But thank you. I'm glad you find that my model is very. That is the goal. Where am I from? I'm from Ontario, Canada. I be Canadian, eh? Yeah, I hope so too. You never want your leaders to mess things up because it just means bad news. But so far, things are okay. Oh, geez, that's actually terrible. Sorry to hear that. Yikes. Friend holding up okay? Yeah, that sounds tough. Yeah, that's rough. Sucks when there's so many things that you can't control. Trying to avoid triangles with retop. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Not for game stuff, unless you're working for cinematics. The thing about triangles is they're acceptable if they're in the right place. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, in that case, yeah, you want to avoid having too many tries. I mean, you could probably hide them in areas like inside of an ear or up in a nostril or something if you're doing a face. But yeah, places that need to deform, you definitely don't want triangles for a cinematic mesh. Makes sense. Just realized the eyes are too far back there, so tweak that. Okay. Dang it, I'm almost out of tea. Shows that I've been here for a while. Plan for my work is what? Tile bit tiled? I'm not sure what you mean. Tiny bit tiled? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with changing the concept a little bit, making it your own. Why did it make that so tiny? And not, oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, that's weird. Interesting, but weird. What I actually want is X and Y to be 12. Let's see what this gives me. What strange topology is this? Who thought this was a good idea? Try 6. Yes? I'll just take it. I will take this nonsense topology and run with it. Oops. Poly group all instead region. Ugh, give me a break. Why? Okay. Do this the hard way. Okay, that's a little more acceptable. It's just a placeholder anyway, it doesn't really matter. Watch this turn out to be not a placeholder. I tend to do that too. Sometimes I'll just say, oh yeah, this is a placeholder, and then not actually make it a placeholder. How much longer do you plan on spending on your work? I mean, like, not today, but in general. And you just pulled an all-nighter? Is that what you're saying? All-nighters are dangerous. I've never pulled like a full all-nighter. Like I've at least gotten 1 hour of sleep. But yeah, I don't know. Like even that's just brutal. I can't do it. I'd rather because like as soon as I try to do that, my like the quality of my work just plummets heavily. I need to have at least a little bit of sleep. Like overtime is one thing. That's okay. I can deal with that. But not sleeping at all is not good for me. Yeah, fair enough. I understand being stubborn about it. Uh, yeah, it's just like I physically can't do it. Like I tried and I just fall asleep on my tablet. um, but yeah, no, it sounds like you use your vacation to the fullest, which take full advantage of the time you have. Definitely want to like increase the strength of this collar. That's a big part of the silhouette here. Well, not huge, covered up by his head, but it's definitely something. Right now, it just feels kind of dinky. 3 top practice definitely comes with time. Yeah, the more you do it, the more you learn. Same with everything though. Everything comes with time. Time and patience. Lots of patience. Probably won't be streaming too much longer. I can't be playing around all day. I have actual work I gotta do too. Uh, it's just too bad. I wish I could just do this all day. Oh well. Gotta pay them bills. And 425 hours in 4 weeks. Wow. Awesome. I mean, don't kill yourself or anything, but good that you're showing that much motivation, willpower. And it's not something that has to be forever. Essentially, you just want to get where you want to be and then keep practicing. But then I'd say once you get what you want, you can slow down a bit, and not slow down so much that that you're not doing anything, but enough so that you can actually recover between learning. How far do I think you are from Blizzard? That's really hard for me to judge. I'm definitely not an employer, but I don't know. I think it's just you gotta have a little bit more. Like your sculpts need to be a little bit cleaner. They seem a little bit rough still. Um, so I think the idea is that you're going to detail a little bit too early, and then haven't like gotten that solid form in yet. Because it should look good even if you have no detail on it. That's at least what I think. I'm a pretty poor critic. Working in the area? What do you mean, like working where the studio is, or working like on that sort of subject matter? Ah, that collar is feeling better now. Also has to be a lot wider. Oh yeah, that's getting there. That's feeling better. Oh yeah, no, totally. Working in the studio, you learn way faster. Oh, way faster. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get there as a junior. Well, at least. Like you, I'm just like putting in a ton of hours and just trying to get where I want to be. I actually just sent in an application recently. See how that goes. What I tend to do is I apply, make a couple new models, apply again, make a couple new models, and just on and on and on like that till I get there. All right. Oh, I see. You're retopping asymmetrically. That takes a lot more time. What I'd almost do is just retopo one side, mirror it over, and then use 3D Coat to just snap to surface, and then you can just massage it into place after that. But yeah, there's a few problem areas I can see right off the bat. Like the topology on the nose doesn't really follow the nostril that well. You have a couple areas, especially like under. I should just show this on the screen. So like around here, the topology is like you want these edges all to just flow along with the nostril. And then also right here you have a couple edges that are just too close together. Looking at this now, also when you sculpted this, I would have indented the eye more. So when I'm sculpting an eye, I actually really avoid having things just jut into other things. I mentioned this earlier, um, but it's not. You can't really tell here because like this, I haven't gotten to that point on the sculpt yet because this is really just bad topology. But you can see a better example would be on the hair. So instead of having this hair, say, go like right into the side of the head like this, I actually have it kind of like jut back, and then it kind of hits the face back here. So I would do something similar with eyes. So you want to actually have like the eyelid that goes back. Although I've looked at some of the models that they have, and they like in terms of game anyway. Like if it's cinematic, which is what you're aiming for, then definitely do that. But in games, they tend to just have things jut into the eye because it's so small you can't tell. But I still like to do it because even if it does do that, I can get a little bit of a normal map, so you get like a bit of a shadow right before it hits the eye. I don't know. It just feels more natural to me. I don't know. That's my 2 cents on what you have so far. And where did I apply? I applied at Blizzard. We'll see what they say. Hopefully, hopefully I get some sort of response. No, yeah, totally. I know that the face is asymmetrical, but I'd retop it symmetrically. So like just do one side, mirror it, and then 3D Code has an option to snap it to the face. So basically, you take the mirror side and you snap it together, and then you can just any edges or verts that are off, you can just kind of like push them into place using their brush tool, and that's what I'd say. Yeah. And when did I apply? I applied a couple days ago. I also applied a couple months ago or a few months ago, like 4 or 5 months ago, and then that didn't go anywhere. So then I made or three characters since then, and I'm applying again now, and now we're gonna see if that works. What I did was because I really would love to work on the Overwatch team, although I know they're not hiring for that team right now. Did they reply at all? I just got like that generic email saying you're not what we want right now. Try again later, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try again and again and again and again until I get what I want. But yeah, since then I went and I made two characters. So I made actually three. I also did the study. So like I studied their their sculpt and their topology and whatnot because I wanted to see if I could like match the shapes, which I think I got fairly close. I never made a low poly of this. Maybe I will at some point after I finish Link, or maybe even like part way through. I might just go in and retop it and stuff. So I made that. I made this witch, and then I made Effie from the Orisa backstory thing. And yeah, so I made those, and now I'm applying again, and then we're gonna see where we go from there. Like, so hopefully that works out. I really hope so, because I'd love to work there. Yeah, Warcraft is also really cool. I just like the thing for me is like I want to work on something that I personally invest more time into. So Overwatch, I like Overwatch a lot and I play it a good bit. So I feel like I'd be better off working there. Mind you, I really like Warcraft and Starcraft as well. Those stuff. I used to play Starcraft a bit when I was younger, and I would enjoy working on that as well. Or Heroes of the Storm also looks really cool, but I haven't played that so much yet. I played it a couple times when it was first released. But again, it's so hard to get time to play the games that you want to play. So yeah, I don't know. It's just what it is. Oh, this is a lot more. Uh-oh. Is this? Ah, oh, darn it. Forgot about that. Hate this topology. It's just, why is that the default cube? The default cube is just a cylinder turned into a cube. Anyway, click, click. Okay, I can live with that. Again, this is just placeholder. It's just to get an idea of what this pouch is gonna kind of look like. Oh, he has like this bag. Probably way too. Well, that's good. Yeah, it shows that you really enjoy the stuff that's produced by Blizzard. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? They want to not only hire people that are really good, they want to hire fans. Because why would they hire someone who's not dedicated to the games or interested even? That doesn't make sense. There's so many people who have tons of passion for these games, and the people who are passionate for it are gonna just do better work. So good that you really enjoy that stuff, and it's good that you're spending all this time just for that specific thing. Time is it? It's almost 11, eh? Dang it. Time flies. What I'll probably do is I'll stop for a little bit so that I can do my real job. And then I'll come back and maybe do some more of this afternoon, or maybe tomorrow or this evening, something like that. I don't know if I'll stream again today or not. I might stream tomorrow. We'll see. How can you move poly edges, multiple ones in one move? Oh, in 3D Coat, you mean? Uh, here, hold on. I'll just open something up. Okay. Doesn't really matter what I open, I guess. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this. This is what this is. All right. So, if you wanted to move multiple edges at the same time, you'd use the brush tool here. Go whoop up. That's not working. What the heck? No, this works. Oh, layers. There we go. So there. See, you can just do this. Woo! And if you hold shift and you click, you can smooth it all out. Yeah, that's how. And then also, if you're mirroring, you can just snap everything using this tool. So you just click snap, and it'll all snap to the surface. And then once you have that, you can just massage it. So like if you had your asymmetrical, for example, you do the one side, mirror it over, and then you can kind of just like shift this to match the face. Yeah. There you have it. Anyway, back to the thing that I was doing. I'm not sure how I feel about this being so low. And no problem. Ugh. The thing is, like, I've done everything. I've done the modeling, I've done the rigging, I've done animation, and now like different parts of me are conflicting. Like the artist in me is like, yeah, putting this pouch down here looks good. And then the rigger in me is thinking, if I put that there, how am I gonna make like the controls for that? It's gonna have to follow the leg. And then if I'm the animator, I'm like, oh god, there's a freaking dangly thing, and I gotta animate this dangly thing. Uh, but I guess it's good that I have that kind of background. Although I'm definitely not that great at rigging, or but I learned it so that I would know what I'm doing. I'm still The problem is like ugh, I'm not getting the shape I want here. It's very got a very feminine silhouette in this design. Very feminine. Like the hip is so small, and then there we go. I have to make sure that there's enough thickness to things. I'm making things super wafer thin, trying to get this silhouette. But if it doesn't have thickness on objects, it'll just look really bad. Uh, 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 uh. Sorry if my humming's annoying. I like this music. Who'd have thunk? Basically, what I can do next time is retop at one side. Yeah, 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 exactly. So basically, well, you'd mirror it first. So there's the mirror option, and then you snap it. But yes. Okay, let's figure out these boots. I've been putting this off for too long. Still think the legs are too thick for these boots, but we'll figure it out. That's what we're here for. Figure things out. Fudge. All right, let's just run with this. Extract. Hey. There. Then we're gonna get this guy. Yeah. Extract. A little bit thicker. Yeah. Accept. And what else do we want? This is toe bit. It's like that thing. Oh, is that like a strap? Oh, it is. Okay. Whoops. That is too much. What is this nonsense? Okay. All right. So now we kind of have, semi boots going on. I keep looking at up and then I just see all these things I want to change every time I look up. This is not. Oh God. This anatomy, man. Super weird. Pretty coat lags a lot? I guess if you have it, like, it does if your mesh is really dense, yes. Yeah, I decimate the heck out of things a lot. I really, I go all out with that decimation. It's the only thing that you can do. His face is still not feeling right. I don't know what it is. Bothering me freaking so much. I shouldn't be spending so much time on the face though before I have even blocked everything in. But it just freaking bothers me. I care. I care so much. I wish I didn't care so much. No, I don't. I like caring, but I want this. I want this to be awesome. Wonder if I can get some feedback from Trent. maybe maybe he'll have some good points. Did the original drawing. Busy guy though, hard to get a hold of. Like in the past, I always just like take art and then I just model it, but I realize that's not the thing to be doing. It's better to talk to the artist before you actually like set out and do it. You never know either because like they could give you more information about the design. And it's nicer because then they're invested in the reason like I would never do that. I would always just kind of run with it is because I was always afraid of failure, and I didn't want to like say, oh yeah, I'm gonna model your character and then fail. I only showed it to them if I was confident that it looked okay. But you know what? I feel like I should just not do that. This time I told Trent that I was gonna model his character. That's cool. Got to get over that. Oh yeah, I've seen Troy's. Yeah, his is amazing. It's really really good. I assume you watch his streams regularly. You should see if he'll give you feedback. Actually, why not? I'm sure he'd have a lot more to say about it, given that he's sculpted it himself. Yeah, yeah. His time zone's very different. Oh, you did get his feedback. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give you some good points. The other thing I'm trying to get better is having volume to things because things are. I usually make things a little too flat. I want it to have like a nice bulk to it, so like this kind of shape, as opposed to kind of like being flat and curved inward. But that'll all come in time. Practice, practice, practice. Ooh, cool effects. Neat. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very impressive that you've made such progress in such short amount of time. And it's because you're putting in all that time and effort, right? So that's good. Keep it up. And now that I think about it, I've probably seen your name in the chat on Troy's stream a time or two. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about uploading videos is they do get reduced a little bit. Oh well, what can you do? But what I would do is just if you're applying somewhere, then you give them the better video, like an actual file. This is not right. That's to stick out like that, I think. I should save. Why aren't I not saving? I'm always just using the autosave. Thank God I have that on, or I'd be in huge trouble. Pressure sensitivity's gone again. There we go. I mean, as much as I love my Cintiq tablet, I don't like that I keep losing pressure sensitivity. Oh yeah. Yeah, images are a good idea too, because then you can just have them super high res. So you were doing effects as well. Did you like just start with that and then decide that wasn't really what you wanted to do, or what was the story with that? Oh, so you're trying to do modeling and effects? Cool. Do you have a preference between the two, or you just like both? Oh yeah, definitely. You'll definitely want to be able to texture your own models. That's important. But yeah, cool. If you like both, that's awesome. You know, if you're into VFX, you should try contacting David Lung. He's very responsive, and he works at Blizzard and cinematics. I talked to him a while back. Oops. The weird. Um, yeah. Here, hold on. This is his website here, and his email's on there. Yeah, that's a big thing too. Is it's more important to make friends than it is to just constantly try to get something out of things. Like trying to get a job out of people isn't really the best idea. It's more so like, I like your work. Do you want to help me out, or like, can you help me get better and stuff like that? I think that's much healthier than saying, "Hey, can you give me a job?" I just got a follower. Is that you? Damon Rocket. Thank you for following. That's good. Yeah. Thank you, Easter. It's nice to have people that are interested in my Twitch channel because it's often very quiet here, which is fine. I get more work done that way. But yeah, it's usually like a one-on-one conversation, which is nice. I like that. Um, Sit and chat for a little bit while you're working. The thing is, like, I don't stream often enough for it to be like a super happening area. Because I only stream when I have a new character on the go. But then when I'm in the later stages, I tend to just not stream it because I don't like streaming the boring stuff. I just stream the sculpt. Sometimes I'll stream like retopology and stuff like that, but not all of it. Just like maybe for a session or two to just prove that I'm not dead. I feel like that's what I do a lot of the time. Is just put things out to prove that I'm still in existence. Ooh, cool. That's some neat art. All right, let's do a little comparison. Click, 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 click. Okay. Let's mush things around. Yeah. That was a mistake. I instantly regretted that. Because I'm dipping his face back too much doing that. Keep pushing and pulling and then making the same mistakes I already had before. Super finicky. Just such little minor movements make a huge difference. I'm always afraid of the flat face, but I always, same time, pull it back. And then if I try to go too far, making it not so flat, it just looks worse. I think I've been working on this too long in one sitting. I'm starting to like do the same thing over and over again. I'm gonna say I'm gonna just work for about 15 more minutes or so, and then that'll be it. This headset is hurting my head real bad. Oof. I don't have any clue what to do about that one. Kind of want one of those just standing mics put on my desk. But I don't know if I'm up to invest like freaking several $100 on a freaking mic. Like if this is something that I ended up doing a lot more, then maybe, but I don't see myself doing a ton of streaming. Enough, but not a huge amount. I like the idea of maybe doing like a weekly thing. Or just whenever I feel good time. Because streaming is a good time. All the time. Four more hours, oh jeez. Freaking all-nighter. Feel bad, man. But I hope you're at least having fun. Even if it's masked in exhaustion. Dear God, 28 hours. That's insane. That's brutal. Trying to get your retopo done? Like entirely finished? Dude, that takes me several, like a couple days, if not more, to get all my retopo done. Takes a good amount of time. Oh yeah, face and ear are definitely the hardest. But yeah, if you're almost done, then keep it up. Yeah, for me, like I could like I spend a week retopping things just because there's so many pieces usually. Usually things I make are just like riddled with parts. Thanks for the follow, Contestish. Contestish? Sorry, it's hard to pronounce. Jeez, the face has changed a lot. Gotten a lot longer. Oops. Oh god. I feel like there's a few things that just got lost though. This shape. Guy made his eyes too thin. I kept thinking that the eyes were thin, but looking at it, it just doesn't feel quite right. I think his eyes are supposed to be a little wider. A little bit larger. Whoa, something here. There. That feels a bit better. How do I load an autosave? Oh, I have no idea. I'm sorry. I have no idea where it saves those autosaves. I think it actually might be in the same folder as your actual file. I'd Google that one. About the same distance. This is 0 0.2, 0.25. Oh yeah, that nose is too high. The concept, he does have like a little bit more shorter distance here. I can play with it a little bit, but definitely could be a little lower. File autosave in there. Oh, cool. This just feels wrong. Jeez. Is this what it is? I feel like I'm making this worse. Definitely. Uh, See, the bridge does have to be out more. It's just, it feels concave. Right word. Okay, yeah, that feels better. Oh yeah, Top Gun can handle heavier meshes, eh? Yeah. Well, you know what? Every software has its pros and cons. Oh, you lost your remesh? Oh, jeez. That really sucks. Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. You'll do it better next time around. Well, yeah, the whole point of what you're doing is to learn, right? So doing it more times just means you kind of figure more things out. You'll get a better result at the end of the day. And you can try doing it symmetrically, like I was mentioning earlier. That might help speed things up a bit. Yeah, and that's a good goal. Learn how to do it right, and then pump out a lot of stuff. Because you have to be able to prove that you can do what you want. But yeah, no. At first, you definitely just want to learn. Yeah, it's just like you can mirror it and then get the topology kind of in place. It might also be better to do that in like some 3D software, some other 3D software like Maya or something like that, and just kind of position the other side just in a rough spot, and then you can snap it. No, that's a great mentality to have. Yeah, if things go south, you just keep going because that should not stop you. Oh, good on you. Oh, dang it. Forgot about that. I always forget that this has to be grouped. There. Oh, still a mess. Oh, totally, yeah. Success is definitely built upon failures. One term I heard recently is that I really agree with is fail faster. Um, just like do a ton of stuff and just learn by failing a lot. Yeah. Yep. You gotta fail a lot to succeed. Another thing you can do too is like find a 3D studio that's a little bit small. Actually I don't want to recommend that, but I hear a lot of people say like you can find a place that's a little bit smaller, and then that's where you could learn more because you'd be around people and you're working at a 3D studio. But at the same time, I feel like if you have a goal, you might as well just strive for that and just go. And yeah, I have used Top Gun as well, briefly, very, very briefly, because I just wasn't into it. Like when I bought 3D Coat, I tried because I was using like I think it was like a student version or something of 3D Coat at first, and then I thought, okay, I'm gonna buy something for retopology because I need it for my freelance work. And then I was like, okay, should I give Top Gun a shot? And I downloaded the trial, I played with it a bit, and it wasn't for me. So I just said, nope, I'm gonna go with 3D Coat, and that's what I did. This is fine. Enough trying to like get a freaking mesh. I gotta stop. I really do. I have to stop because it's too long and my mind is kind of fried. Like I mean, not completely. I'm gonna go do some other work, but I gotta like stand up and do something else for like a few minutes. Go grab some lunch. Yeah. I've also been staring at this too long. Well, the thing is, like, if 3D Code's having a hard time with you, it just means your mesh is too dense. Just dynamesh it further. But if you want to stick with a high res mesh, then yeah, you can use Topicon. I'm sure it's good because lots of people like it. It's just a matter of learning how to use it. I guess I prefer 3D. I'd rather decimate my model a little extra for the tools that I get from 3D. Maybe if I get some eyelashes in there, it would kind of help. Just small ones. Okay. Yeah, I feel that helps a little bit. Frames the eye a bit. Okay. All right, that's it. I think that's it for now. See you later, Suther.